All right, here's a Fluval Flex. I put a little dirt on it, and then you can see there's 6 root tabs. So it's just a 9-gallon Fluval Flex. I got it for a really good price, so I couldn't pass it up. But I'm gonna dirt the tank, and no, I did not sift this or anything. There's even a little bit of perlite in the dirt, but I'm really not that worried about it as it works fine. I've done it before. But yeah, so this is gonna be the first layer. All right, I'm now adding a layer of sand. It's just a very fine grain. Any sand really works as long as it's not like has something on it. But yeah, it's just a fine grain sand that helps keep all the nutrients from leaching into the water column. But yeah, and I'll put another layer on top of this. All right, now we got the sand capped. Although I feel like this here, I really wish they didn't add this lower intake. That's kind of annoying because you can only make the substrate so deep. But yeah, that's all capped off, and I used a cup to make it nice and even. But yeah, now the dirt's capped, I'm gonna put Fluval stratum on top. All right, and that's the Fluval stratum. This stuff right here. Okay, and I put the rest of the Fluval stratum on the bottom there, and then I added some hardscape. Looks pretty cool. And I'm excited to get it all planted and whatnot, but that's gonna be a while. It's gonna sit like this for a while. I'm gonna kind of think about what plants I want. But I made a nice shelf over here, so I could definitely put like a sword. That's plenty of room for a sword. Crypts all through here maybe, cryptocorn all through here, and then swords in the back. Nothing too fancy. As you can see, it's a pretty simple tank, but it's a cool tank. Anyway, that's how I set up my tanks. A little bit of dirt, a little bit of sand, and then some stratum. And then I hardscaped it. I'm not gonna use wood on this one. And that's pretty much it. I think it'll look really good once the plants are actually... That's the finished product. It's a couple weeks later. But you can see I redid the hardscape here, and I added all these plants. But yeah, let me go into depth on what plants I used. All right, so in the corner here, this grass is Dwarf Sagittarius, and then we have some Java Fern. I haven't used Java Fern in a long time, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to get back into a little Java Fern. Anarcharis back here, a bunch of that. That stuff's been growing crazy already. Right here I have seedlings of temple plant, and then I have some Bulbitis fern or African water fern or something like that. Got a little cryptocorn back here. I think it's Cryptocorn luciens or something like that. I can't quite remember. I have an Aponoheton. You can see its rhizome right there and some of its leaves is kind of back through there. And then I have some nice Anubias nana petite. See if we can get a better visual on it. You can kind of see like these small little leaves back in there. That's a Anubias nana petite. I got that for a really good price at a box store. But yeah, I think that's all the plants I have in there. Oh, of course, there's some frog bit just to help keep the nutrients down so I don't get a bunch of algae. But yeah, it's a simple setup. I added a layer of dirt, layer of sand, and then some Fluval stratum on top. And then I added a little more sand to make like a sandbar. And I have the dragon stone, and then I have some crushed dragon stone. And then all the plants, and it looks pretty cool. But yeah, the pH is super low right now, so I'm probably gonna wait a month before I put fish in here. But I'll probably put chili rasboras. I already have chili rasboras in another tank, in that little tank that's down there. So I'll probably add some chili rasboras or something. I'm not too sure. But yeah, this tank's super cool. I like it. I like all the different plants I have in there, and looks really good. One more thing before I go. That intake earlier in the video that I said I was annoyed by because I couldn't put the substrate where I wanted. Actually took this little grate off and then I used a sponge and this card. This little white line is actually like one of those free credit cards you get in the mail for, you know, just to pollute the earth even more. And then I used like pot scrubbies, and then there's a sponge to keep it flush against there. So this intake doesn't actually work. Like it might leach in just a little bit, but it shouldn't cause me any problems with like the dirt on the bottom and stuff getting into my filter. So yeah, that was the only way I could really think to fix that intake down there. So the top one works fine, but just the bottom one is broken off, and you can see the pot scrubbies there. And this is actually a cuttle bone. I thought it'd help put a little calcium in my water because I do really like snails. So I kind of try to set up my tanks so the snails could have healthy shells and whatnot. But yeah, so that was just kind of the hack I did, I guess you could say, to block off that lower intake, which I really wish they didn't have that intake. I don't honestly know why, especially since it's so low to the bottom. It's like, you know, I like having deep substrate. Like, look at this here. You can see how deep that is. That's like, I don't know, that's pretty deep. I mean, it's a small tank, but that's a extremely deep substrate. And some of the roots are already almost reaching the bottom. Let me see if I can get it on camera. Like right here, there's a little root that's almost reaching the sand. Well, it might even be reaching the sand. I just can't see that it is. But yeah, I think it was kind of dumb that they put that intake so low. But that's the way I found to block it off, so maybe you could try that. Anyway, thanks for watching if you did.